Jennifer Yu played against Sabina Foisor in round 5 of the US Championship. This is Sabina, this is Jennifer, and this is right after Sabina resigned. And Jennifer won with some good attacking skill combined with some endgame mastery. Let's have a look at that game. Can you find out the move that Jennifer Yu played in this position? White has just taken on c6. Normally, we would want to just take back, right? But Jennifer plays a brilliant move there. A cute little move here. Can you find out? She played queen to c8, inviting pawn takes b7, which means white would be a pawn up. But what's her idea? Queen h3, unstoppable mate on h2. So let us see how Jennifer got such an attacking position in her game against Sabina. Sabina played d4. Jennifer reacted with d5, knight f3, knight f6, e3, and bishop to f5. Sort of like reverse landed from Jennifer. Pawn c4, c6. Knight out, e6. As is common with London systems, the knight comes and attacks the bishop. And when bishop g6, the knight would take it at the right time. If not now. Bishop e2, bishop e7, and now Sabina decided to take on g6. Jennifer, of course, takes back with the h-pawn, queen c2, and queen c7. Both sides are keeping the option of castling long for the long term. Pawn g3, knight d7. So pawn g3 was to stop this threat on h2 if king castles. Bishop d2, again keeping herself flexible. If possible, castling long is an option. Pawn g5. And here Sabina has to decide. The time to castle has come. All the pieces have come out. She has to either castle long or short. She decides to castle short, which is fine. If she castles long, there would still be some attacking chances for Jennifer with b5, a5, knight b6, all ideas there. Pawn takes c4. Pawn e4. So this pawn will get picked up, but first Sabina captures the sender. Now e5, challenging the sender, forcing d5. Knight b6, takes, and here comes this beautiful move, queen to c8. So what happens if pawn takes b7? Is it possible for Sabina to take this pawn? If pawn takes b7, there comes queen h3 and it's forced mate. There is no way to stop queen h2. You can promote, but then after knight takes, the mate is still there. And there is no defense. If you move the rook, we just take and king f1, queen h1 mate. So this was a brilliant move by Jennifer. Queen c8, threatening queen h3. So Sabina takes some time and defends it with bishop f3. Queen h3 comes. h2 cannot be defended. But at least to stop the checkmate, Sabina moves the rook. And now pawn takes back because h2 is still hanging and there's nothing she can do about it. That Sabina can do about it. So Jennifer can take it anytime. She plays knight d7, knight a5, and now she takes. King f1, queen check, bishop moves, and the queen comes back. So here Jennifer understood perfectly that the attack is a non-possibility. You just have a queen and rook, and the bishop has come to defend. So it's not the attack that would win her the game. She is up by 2 pawns right now, and if she can get to a middle game with good control of the sender, then she would be in a winning position. So she brings the queen back to keep an eye on c4. Rook c1, putting pressure on c4. Pawn f6, defending everything. Rook d1 and king f7, completing the development and bringing the rooks to the center. Pawn a3 and knight takes knight, queen takes back, knight b6. Takes, and here Sabina got back one of the pawns, but she's still down by 1 pawn. Queen takes, rook takes, and now we have an endgame. c5, rook c3, and b5. Rook d3, pawn g4. So Jennifer does not play rook d8 as of now. She keeps the rooks on open files. If rook d7, then she would play rook d8, forcing an exchange. So Sabina plays f3, pawn takes, bishop takes, and now g6. So she wants to get her pawns rolling. f5, e4 is what she wants. King g2 was played. Pawn b4. Takes. So the black pawn rushes forward, gaining more space. If it gets to b3, then rook a2 could be a problem. Rook d2, rook a1, trying to get both the rooks in, infiltrating with the rooks. But Sabina plays bishop d1, blocking the rook's way. And now pawn f5. The pawns are rolling. Rook f3, bishop g5, attacking the rook. Rook moves, king e6. Now rook d3, defending again, threatening mate. So what should black do? Bishop e7, kind of the only move. Rook b7. Here, Jennifer can play pawn takes e4, getting one more pawn, but Jennifer decides against it. So the problem with rook b7 is that pawn takes pawn, and then the king would get it, and that pawn would be defended perfectly. But Jennifer did not want to allow more open lines to her king. So just for safety, she plays king to f6. She's getting the king in this way. It's more solid that way. Rook check, king g5. Rook again attacks the pawn. Rook attacks the b2 pawn. Rook takes. Check, king moves. Bishop f6. The attacked bishop attacks the rook. Rook moves. Bishop c3. Takes. Rook e3, and now rook comes in. Rook comes to h1. Bishop e2, and now rook h2. So you can see black's pieces are very much in control of the situation, and there is a passed pawn on b4. It's opposite colored bishops, so there is some hope for Sabina to draw this. She plays rook d1. She should have played rook to e8, and then she can give checks from the back, forcing the king to come back. This was a best chance. It's sort of like Philidor draw. You bring the rook back and then start giving checks from the back. But instead, she played rook d1. And here there is a very tough move to find for Jennifer, that is bishop d2. Sort of creating an exchange of this bishop for this bishops. For example, if rook d3, just bishop c1. Good luck finding these moves. So rook takes, and this rook takes is the plan. So if she can exchange of the bishops, then she would be in a winning position because it's an extra pawn. As long as the bishops are there, there is a chance of a draw, opposite color bishop draw. So bishop d2 is still very tough to find. Bishop f6 was played, rook e8, rook check. So it looks like the rook is about to start giving checks, but it's too late. Rook check, rook has to go back. Here Sabina cannot play rook d3 because can you find out what black would do if rook d3 happens? There is a beautiful move here that Jennifer would have played. Bishop d4, threatening mate. If rook takes rook, rook f2 is mate. And if you play g4, rook f2 will happen anyway. And after king g3, f4. And if king h3, then we can just exchange, takes, and then we win the bishop. So let's go back. That is why the rook that came down to give checks had to go back. And now takes, and Sabina is in trouble. Jennifer has a clear advantage. She plays bishop d4, attacking the pawn. Rook attacks the other pawn. So we cannot give up this pawn, right? So bishop d6, king f3, and bishop to c5, threatening rook f2. Again mate. So rook f1. So instead of king f3, she should have gone active. She could have gone rook a1, for example, to bring the rook down. Rook f1, passive defense. The rook is stuck to this line now. And the pawn pushes. Bishop d3, keeping an eye on f5. But yeah, the pawn pushes again. You have to see the rook is still stuck because the moment rook moves, there is rook f2 mate. So bishop b1, stopping the pawn that way. And now rook d2, bishop a2, bishop d6. So they just repeat for a bit, and then bishop d4, bishop a2, and now comes rook check. The time to finish off the game has come. Bishop d4, threatening the next pawn. Rook f3, rook d1. Rook f1 takes, and now we have a opposite color bishop endgame, but with an extra pawn that is so close to promoting, and an active king. So Jennifer is winning here. King g4, bishop b1, takes, king e2, and the pawn pushes. Bishop a2, the bishop is stuck to this diagonal. Pawn f3, king moves, bishop b1, king g3. The king also comes in, and now f2 is coming. The bishop cannot stop both the pawns. One of them will promote. So bishop e4, and now bishop check, king moves, and then here Sabina resigned, white resigned, because black is about to push her pawn. So this is how Jennifer won against Sabina and became the sole leader of the tournament in the US Chess Championship round 5.